Dimensioning is very crucial feature of AutoCAD drawing. For dimensioning, you can go to Annotation panel of Home tab, or you can go to Annotate tab and Dimensions panel. I'll select Dimensions panel. Select Linear from this panel, and now select the point from where you want to start your dimensioning. Right now I'm not able to select this point. For this you need to turn on OSnap. Also you need to make sure that these points, endpoint, midpoint, center and intersections are turned on. Let's select the first point and then the second point. Place your cursor at a certain distance from your original drawing and your dimension will be created. Right now this dimension is created with a length of 56 units. Let's select linear again, select this point and then this point, and again the next dimension will be created. If you want to create an aligned dimension, then you should select the second option, which is aligned. When I select aligned dimension, then it will create a dimension which is parallel to the object which we have selected. So in this case, here is the aligned dimension. But if you select linear for making aligned dimension, it will create either a horizontal or a vertical dimension depending upon the position where you place your dimension. So let's place it here. Let's move on to the next command, which is arc length. Here we have this arc. So when you click on this arc and expand it, it will create a dimension which is equal to length of this arc, and it is also indicated by this arc length symbol. Please make a note that this is arc length, not diameter or radius value. You can also select arc length and specify length of arc for this smaller arc. Let's move on to the next option, which is radius. For specifying radius, click on the arc, fillet or circle and drag your cursor. So here's the radius, which you can clearly see that it is 24 units and length of arc is 54.06 units. Select radius again, click on the circle and let's make it here. So here's the radius, which is 35 units. Let's click on this arrow and select diameter. Now this will create a diameter. Right now you can clearly see that the radius is 35 units. Click on the same circle again and you'll see the diameter is now indicated as 70 units along with phi symbol, which indicates the diameter of the drawing. Let's create continue and baseline dimensions. For continue dimensions, first create a dimension. Now this dimension will act as a standard for creating our dimension. Now click on this continue button. As soon as you click on this button, you'll see that your next dimension starts from the point where you left initially, and now click at the next point, which is right now the center of this circle. Now click at the next point and again next point. So in this way your dimension will keep on continuing from the initial point in a single chain. Let's now move on to baseline. So when you select baseline dimension, it will prompt you to specify the dimension as base dimension. Let's select this one. So now once we have selected this dimension, it will again start dimensioning from the last point of this dimension, but in this case it will create the dimension with a slight difference. Let's select the center point now, and then this point and this point. Now in this scenario, all the dimensions are measured from the initial point which we have selected. So this becomes the base point and all dimensions are measured accordingly.